You know, in the vast world of mythology, you sometimes find figures who are a total paradox. And today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating ones, Chand Bhairav. On one hand, he's a god of absolutely terrifying, destructive fury. But on the other, he's a compassionate protector. This is the story of how divine rage was literally forged into a weapon for cosmic justice.
So this entire saga really hinges on this incredible duality. You've got the Raudra form, which is all about being fierce, aggressive, and basically born for destruction. And then you have the Nyaya Priya form, a lover of justice and a guardian of his followers. So the big question is, how can these two total extremes exist in one being? Let's get into it and try to unravel that mystery.
You know how it goes. Every great hero needs a great villain, and our story starts with a real piece of work. The demon Chandakasura. Through some intense penance, he managed to gather up a ton of power and just started this reign of terror. He defeated the gods and plunged all three worlds, heaven, earth, and the netherworld, the whole shebang, into absolute chaos and fear.
At this point, the gods were totally overwhelmed, completely defeated. They saw only one way out. They went to Lord Shiva, the ultimate power in the universe, with this desperate plea. They were completely helpless, and they knew that only a force born directly from Shiva himself could possibly stop Chandakasura's rampage.
And Shiva answered their call. In this moment of intense, divine focus, he channeled all of his incredible energy right into his third eye. You know, the source of his cosmic power. And from that eye, this blinding, fiery energy just erupted, a force of pure, untamed power, just ready to be unleashed.
Now this is where it gets really specific and really cool. The raw power from Shiva's third eye didn't just explode outwards. Nope. It started to come together, to coalesce, into this terrifying form. A radiant being born from divine flame, with these blazing eyes and the unbelievable speed of a horse. And to top it all off, he was armed with a trident and a sword, the ultimate weapons of divine justice. Just like that, Chand Bhairav had arrived.
The confrontation was immediate. It was cataclysmic. As Chandakasura and his army came face to face with this new divine warrior, the very first thing they experienced was his roar. And this wasn't just a sound, it was a physical force, a primal scream of cosmic justice, so powerful it literally shook the foundations of the earth.
The battle that came next? Well, it was swift and it was decisive. Chand Bhairav moved with this blinding speed, his sword just flashing through the sky like lightning. For the demon and his army, he was impossible to even track, just this blur of righteous anger cutting through their ranks with unstoppable power.
You know, before Chand Bhairav even landed the final blow, the war was pretty much already won. His sheer presence, that terrifying roar, and the blur of his sword, it was enough. The demon army wasn't just defeated, they were completely demoralized, paralyzed by a kind of fear they had never, ever known.
So after defeating the demon Chandakasura, the name he was given, Chand Bhairav, became his entire mission statement. It literally means the fierce one who annihilates the wicked. His identity was now forever tied to that single, powerful purpose.
But here's the turn. After all of that divine destruction, we come right back to that central paradox. This terrifying form, this weapon of cosmic justice, is reserved only for the wicked. To his followers, to the righteous, he reveals his other side, one of incredible gentleness and compassion.
And this is why he's still worshipped to this day. People turn to him not just to destroy their external enemies, but their internal ones too. They pray for the courage to face life's challenges, for freedom from their own fears, for protection from harm, and ultimately, for a sense of justice in their lives. In fact, the texts say that this kind of worship brings very real results. Devotion to Chand Bhairav is believed to actively help remove obstacles from your path, give you a real increase in courage and self-confidence, and finally, help bring a sense of justice and balance back into your world.
His role as a protector goes even further than that. In many communities, Chand Bhairav is worshipped as a Kul Devata, which is a revered ancestral or family deity. This means he isn't just a protector of one person, but the guardian of an entire family lineage, watching over them for generations.
So, we end right back where we started, with this paradox. The saga of Chand Bhairav is such a powerful reminder that sometimes protection requires a fierce face. It really forces us to ask, How do these ancient stories use figures of immense destruction to teach us about the very nature of justice and the fierce, unwavering power it takes to protect it? It's a fascinating thought to carry with you.